TV soap news and spoilers say that in the sultry, scandal-soaked world of Beyond the Gates, where family secrets simmer beneath the surface and every revelation comes with a twist, one character has emerged as the epicenter of intrigue: Peaches. With her sudden arrival and a bombshell claim that has left viewers reeling, Peaches has ignited a firestorm of speculation. Is she a tragic figure, driven by a desperate need to right past wrongs before her time runs out? Or is she a cunning manipulator, weaving a web of lies to deceive everyone around her? At the heart of this mystery lies a question that threatens to unravel the very fabric of the show's narrative. Is Leslie truly Barbara's daughter, or is Peaches orchestrating an elaborate scam to exploit a grieving family's wealth? In this article, we dive deep into the drama, dissecting the clues, motives, and possibilities to uncover whether Peaches' story holds water, or if it's a carefully crafted illusion designed to dupe us all. The arrival of Peaches, a catalyst for chaos. From the moment Peaches stepped into the opulent, tension-filled world of Beyond the Gates, she carried an aura of mystery. Her entrance was nothing short of theatrical, a woman weathered by life, her eyes heavy with secrets, claiming to bear a truth that could change everything. She sought out Leslie, the poised yet vulnerable heiress to the Montgomery fortune, and dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the family. According to Peaches, she was dying. A terminal illness had given her mere months to live. In her final act of redemption, she claimed she wanted to do right by Leslie, revealing that Leslie was the long-lost daughter of Barbara Montgomery, the matriarch whose legacy looms large over the show's narrative. The revelation was staggering. Leslie, who had grown up in the shadow of uncertainty about her origins, was suddenly presented with a tantalizing prospect. Not only a connection to one of the most powerful families in the series but also a claim to a vast inheritance. The Montgomery fortune, a glittering prize of wealth and influence, was now within Leslie's reach, or so Peaches would have her believe. But as the cameras lingered on Peaches' tear-streaked face and Leslie's stunned expression, viewers couldn't shake a nagging question: was this heartfelt confession too good to be true? Peaches' story is compelling, no doubt. Her trembling voice, her frail demeanor, and her insistence that she's acting out of moral obligation paint the picture of a woman racing against time to atone for past sins. Yet, there's something about her urgency, her perfectly timed arrival, that feels almost too cinematic. Could Peaches be playing a long con, manipulating Leslie's emotions and the Montgomery family's vulnerabilities for her own gain? The stakes are high, the drama is electric, and the truth remains tantalizingly out of reach. Let's explore the evidence, the motives, and the tantalizing what-ifs that make this storyline one of the most gripping in Beyond the Gates. The case against Peaches, a master manipulator? To determine whether Peaches is a scammer, we must first examine the cracks in her story. On the surface, her claim seems plausible: a dying woman, burdened by guilt, seeks to reunite a mother and daughter before it's too late. But as any fan of Beyond the Gates knows, nothing in this world of high-stakes drama is ever as it seems. Let's break down the red flags that suggest Peaches might not be the tragic hero she claims to be. The timing of her arrival. First, there's the matter of timing. Peaches appeared at a moment when the Montgomery family was already grappling with internal strife. Barbara's recent passing had left the family in turmoil, with questions about her will and the distribution of her estate hanging in the air like storm clouds. Leslie, who had always been on the periphery of the Montgomery dynasty, was suddenly thrust into the spotlight by Peaches' revelation. The coincidence is striking. Why now? Why wait until Barbara's death to reveal such a monumental truth? If Peaches truly knew Leslie's parentage all along, what stopped her from coming forward years earlier, when Barbara was still alive, to confirm or deny the claim? This suspicious timing raises the possibility that Peaches is capitalizing on a moment of vulnerability. With Barbara gone, there's no one to directly challenge her story. The Montgomery family, already fractured by grief and greed, is ripe for manipulation. Peaches' claim could be a calculated move to insert herself, and Leslie, into the inheritance battle, securing a slice of the fortune for herself or an unseen accomplice. The lack of concrete evidence. Another glaring issue is the absence of verifiable proof. Peach's story hinges on her word alone, a narrative delivered with emotional conviction but scant documentation. In a world where DNA tests, birth records, and legal documents could easily substantiate her claim, Peaches offers little more than heartfelt anecdotes. She speaks of knowing Barbara in her youth, of a secret affair that led to Leslie's birth, but where are the letters, the photographs, the tangible links to this supposed past? In Beyond the Gates, where every character seems to have a hidden safe full of incriminating evidence, Peach's lack of substantiation is a red flag. Moreover, her claim of a terminal illness is equally unverifiable. She's produced no medical records, no doctor's testimony, only her own assertions of impending mortality. This raises a chilling possibility. What if the illness is a fabrication, a ploy to elicit sympathy and lower Leslie's defenses? By framing her revelation as a dying wish, Peaches ensures that her story is met with compassion rather than scrutiny. It's a classic con artist's tactic: appeal to emotion, obscure the facts, and keep the mark too overwhelmed to ask questions. Her motive, greed or something deeper? If Peaches is lying, what does she stand to gain? The most obvious answer is money. The Montgomery fortune is no small prize, with its sprawling estates, lucrative businesses, and offshore accounts. If Leslie is recognized as Barbara's daughter, she could inherit a significant portion of the wealth that Peaches might hope to siphon off through manipulation or coercion. Perhaps Peaches has a hidden agreement with Leslie, or maybe she plans to blackmail the family later, threatening to expose the truth, or a fabricated version of it, unless paid off. But greed isn't the only possible motive. Peach's backstory hints at a complicated past, one filled with regrets and fractured relationships. Could her deception be driven by revenge? Perhaps she harbors a grudge against the Montgomery family, blaming them for some past injustice. By inserting a false heir into their midst, she could destabilize their legacy, sowing chaos as her final act. Or maybe her motives are even more personal. Perhaps Leslie herself is unaware of Peach's true intentions, a pawn in a larger game of retribution or redemption. The case for Peaches, a woman seeking redemption? Of course, it's possible that Peaches is telling the truth. Her story, while dramatic, isn't implausible in the context of Beyond the Gates, where family secrets are as common as champagne flutes at a gala. Let's consider the possibility that Peaches is genuine, a woman driven by a desperate need to make amends before death claims her. A plausible backstory. Peaches claims to have known Barbara in her younger years, during a time when the Montgomery matriarch was entangled in a scandalous affair. This aligns with what we know of Barbara's past, a woman of fierce ambition and hidden vulnerabilities, whose rise to power was marked by whispered rumors of forbidden romances. If Leslie is indeed Barbara's daughter, given up to protect the family's reputation, Peach's role as the keeper of this secret makes sense. She might have been a confidant, a friend, or even a relative who was entrusted with the truth and the burden of silence. Her terminal illness, if real, adds a layer of urgency to her mission. Facing her own mortality, Peaches might feel compelled to right a wrong that has haunted her for decades. By revealing Leslie's parentage, she could be seeking not just redemption but closure, ensuring that Leslie knows her true identity before it's too late. This narrative is heart-wrenching, fitting perfectly into the melodramatic tapestry of Beyond the Gates. Leslie's own doubts and desires. Leslie's reaction to Peach's revelation also lends credence to the possibility that it's true. Leslie has always felt like an outsider, a woman searching for her place in a world that never fully embraced her. The idea that she's Barbara's daughter offers a sense of belonging, a connection to a legacy that she's longed for her entire life. Her emotional response, equal parts hope and hesitation, suggests that Peach's story resonates with some deep, unspoken truth within her. Could this be intuition, or is Leslie simply desperate to believe in a narrative that gives her life meaning? The Leslie question, heiress or pawn? At the heart of this mystery lies Leslie herself. Is she truly Barbara's daughter, or is she an unwitting pawn in Peach's scheme? To answer this, we must consider Leslie's own history and the clues scattered throughout Beyond the Gates. Leslie's backstory is one of ambiguity. Raised in modest circumstances, far removed from the glitz and glamour of the Montgomery world, she's always been an enigma. Her adoptive parents provided few answers about her origins, leaving her with a lingering sense of displacement. Peach's claim that Leslie is Barbara's daughter offers a neat explanation for this, tying her to a powerful lineage. But without concrete evidence, it's just as likely that Leslie is a convenient stand-in, someone Peaches chose because of her vague resemblance to Barbara or her lack of a verifiable past. If Leslie isn't Barbara's daughter, the implications are staggering. Peach's deception would not only shatter Leslie's hopes but also expose the Montgomery family to a potential fraud of epic proportions. The inheritance battle, already fraught with tension, could erupt into a legal and emotional maelstrom, with Leslie caught in the crossfire. Yet, if Leslie is Barbara's daughter, Peach's revelation could be the key to unlocking a truth that the Montgomery family has long buried, a truth that could redefine their legacy and Leslie's place within it. The broader implications: a family on the brink. Whether Peaches is a scammer or a savior, her arrival has set off a chain reaction that threatens to consume the Montgomery family. The other heirs, Barbara's acknowledged children and their spouses, are already circling like vultures, each eager to secure their share of the fortune. Peach's claim about Leslie introduces a new variable, one that could upend their carefully laid plans. If Leslie is recognized as an heir, the inheritance pie gets sliced thinner, sparking resentment and betrayal among the siblings. But the drama doesn't stop there. The Montgomery family's enemies, always lurking in the shadows, could seize on Peach's revelation to exploit the family's vulnerabilities. If her story is false, it could be part of a larger conspiracy to destabilize the dynasty. If it's true, it could expose secrets that Barbara took to her grave, secrets that could unravel alliances, destroy reputations, and ignite a scandal that Beyond the Gates fans will talk about for seasons to come. The audience's role: are we being played too? As viewers, we're not just passive observers in this drama, we're part of the game. Beyond the Gates thrives on keeping us guessing, dangling clues and red herrings with equal abandon. Peach's story is a masterclass in narrative ambiguity, forcing us to question every tear, every glance, every word. Are we meant to sympathize with her, to believe in her dying wish? Or are we being lured into a trap, seduced by her performance just as Leslie is? The show's writers have a knack for subverting expectations, and Peach's arc feels like a setup for a jaw-dropping twist. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. Peaches might believe her story, but it could be based on a misunderstanding or a half-truth. Or maybe she's working with someone else, a shadowy figure pulling the strings behind the scenes. Whatever the case, the uncertainty is what makes this storyline so addictive, keeping us glued to our screens as we wait for the next revelation. The verdict: scammer or saint? So, is Peaches a scammer deceiving everyone, or a woman seeking redemption in her final days? The evidence is tantalizingly inconclusive. On one hand, her lack of proof, suspicious timing, and potential motives for greed or revenge point to a con. On the other, her emotional conviction and the plausibility of her story align with the melodramatic heart of Beyond the Gates. Leslie's own uncertainties only deepen the mystery, leaving us to wonder whether she's the key to a hidden truth or the victim of a cruel lie. As the season unfolds, we can expect more twists, more secrets, and more drama. Will Peaches produce the evidence to back her claim, or will her story unravel under scrutiny? Will Leslie embrace her supposed heritage, or will she uncover a betrayal that breaks her heart? One thing is certain: in the world of Beyond the Gates, nothing is ever as it seems, and Peach's enigma is a puzzle that will keep us guessing until the final credits roll. For now, we're left with a deliciously ambiguous question: is Peaches a master manipulator, spinning a web of lies to claim a piece of the Montgomery fortune? Or is she a tragic figure, racing against time to right a wrong that has haunted her for decades? We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV soap news and spoilers for more updates on Beyond the Gates.